What is going on, everybody? I'm Jamie. Welcome to the channel Thrift on Fire. Today we're going to be talking about my biggest eBay hits and misses. Stay tuned. First off, welcome to the store. This is 654 store. It's my eBay store. This is pretty much where all my inventory is. Today we're going to be talking about the biggest hits and misses in the last 30 days or so. I make some mistakes. Hopefully you can learn from them. I certainly have. Let's get started. Alright guys, let's start with a miss. So I got into the puzzle craze a little bit late. This is obviously speaking about the big puzzle boom on eBay during COVID. So I went to Walmart one day to get groceries and whatnot, and we found some puzzles. Took them all. I thought, hey, I'll give it a try. I've never had much luck with retail arbitrage, but I figured I'd give it a try. I'll throw some numbers up here. Didn't work out very good for me, so I was, like I said, I was at the tail end of it, so I think I wound up losing. So if I take a look here, 300 piece cat puzzle. All right. Rate of return -5, so I actually lost money on this. Item cost me about $10. I think it was like $9.99 plus tax, so maybe just over $10. I wound up just selling it for $13. When I realized they're not going to sell, I was just trying to recoup any of the money I could out of these. Shipping is tough on these two, guys, because if you can go to a store and get a puzzle for, you know, $9, $10, even if I'm selling it for $9 or $10, shipping's going to cost you extra. It's a tough sell. You really have to have a unique puzzle to sell at this point. So my total profit was -$1.60. Not a good one. Let's talk about a hit. So this was a Bubba Watson pink limited edition golf club. I found this on Facebook Marketplace. Looked really unique when I seen it. I don't know a lot about golfing, but this was cool. So I think I paid $160. So in this one, guys, my rate of return was 110%. So that means I sold it for $305. And my total profit on this one was $200.04. So this one was really great. I think, so these clubs also, when you're looking at the listings, everybody's trying to get $1,000 out of these things. They have special golf cover, which I'm sure you can see in the picture. I obviously tried that. Didn't work out for me. Got impatient, so I'm like, I'm gonna throw it up in auction. So that's how I wound up selling it. Auctioned it. Someone made me an offer. It must have been $385. I'm assuming that's what it sold for. Like I said, I'll throw it up on the screen, and yeah, that's a pretty good one, guys. I think I had it for maybe a month before I decided just to throw it up in auction, just because I thought it would sell that way faster. All right, guys. So this is another miss. Giant Lego head bucket. It had sifters inside. Very cool, very collectible. They sell very well on eBay. A lot of things went wrong on this one. Biggest problem was shipping. So I bought this thing for $10, just another local buy. And what happened was I had it listed for, I think, like between $45 and $50. And I kept getting best offers around. They were really low ball. And then one day I'm just like, okay, whatever, I'll sell it. So I sold it for $30, best offer. Didn't really look where it was going. The shipping killed me, guys. So rate of return, -8%. I'll throw the shipping, what I paid up in shipping. I can't remember the exact seconds. So I actually lost on this guy, $4.04. And it was all over shipping. If this was gonna go, you know, at least in Canada with me, I probably would have made some money. In the U.S., depending on the coast, it absolutely kills me. And I should do calculated shipping. I could have boxed this. It's just a big item. I just assumed what I was gonna pay based off of past things I've sold, and it wasn't very heavy. But the size of it is what got me, guys. All right, guys, next up we have another hit. It's a Rolls line mixer. This guy was pretty decent. I think I only paid about $10 at a garage sale. I held on to it for a while. I don't think I took a best offer. I think I just adjusted my price or potentially put a sale on. Actually, it was promoted listing. Actually, that is exactly what happened. Promoted listing, and it sold, I think, after that in, I don't know, maybe a week. So I paid $10. I sold it for $99.99. My rate of return was 315%. I like that one. Total profit $79.89. So with something like this, you do have to plug it in, make sure it worked, test it. Luckily, I have a ton of music gear, so it's not a big deal for me. If you don't, guys, like, there's a lot of ways you can do it. As long as you make sure it powers on and it's not, you know, making crazy noises or anything, you're pretty safe. A lot of musical equipment sells well. You just need the right buyer. This one was terrible, guys. The game of life. We can all learn from the game of life, especially this guy. So, this was actually a game we owned. We went through our board games and we were getting rid of stuff that we no longer were going to play. So the game life didn't make the cut, apparently. So, didn't cost me anything. However, I listed it. I sold it for, I believe, I'm going to say like $18 to $25. I'll put it up on the screen. I should have wrote it down. On my sheet, I just have one of the worst moves ever, game of life. So, I didn't look at the pieces, guys. So when I like opened it up to make sure everything was there after I've already sold this on eBay, they're missing. The money was missing, and the little pieces or the little players. Either way, guys, if you're gonna list something, make sure it's all there. And even if you did make sure it's all there, thank goodness I checked before I shipped it, because that would have been a nightmare. I would have had to refund the buyer. I would have to eat the cost of the shipping. It would have been bad. Luckily, I caught it before it went out, and I just messaged the gentleman and explained what happened. He was okay with me canceling the order. I did offer him a discount in my store if there was another game or something else he wanted to buy. So I just tried to make it right any way I could. But yeah, always check if you're selling used board games or anything with lots of pieces. Make sure you have all the pieces. All right, so next up we have a hit. Thank goodness, another hit. Thank goodness for me, anyway. So a Pop Beetlejuice Pop Funko. So this is a guy I picked up at a yard sale. I believe it was a yard sale. I know I only have $1 into him, so I was pretty happy. He's in great shape. Someone basically just like bought it, threw it on the shelf, enjoyed it, and when they were done with it, they just yard saled it, right? So for this guy, I had $1 in. Sold price was $14.99. That's a rate of return for me of 83%. I like that. Anything over 50, I'm happy with. I mean, I'm happy with any profit. We obviously see some negatives in the video, and I don't like to see those. So total profit for me, $11.84. Pretty good. Happy with that. I really like the Pop Funkos. They're cool. There's so many. We got another miss, unfortunately. So I've not really done well with shoes, to be honest. I see all different people selling shoes, used shoes, new shoes, whatever. I've done well with Crocs, of all things. If I can find Crocs in good shape, I usually buy them and I usually sell them. But actually running shoes, I think I've sold a couple pairs of Converse that worked out for me, and that's about it. So these were an Adidas Classic Adidas. I've actually have these same shoes myself, size 11, which I thought seemed like a pretty decent size. So I think I paid $8 for these quite a while ago. I'm going to say 6 months ago, and I've tried different ways of listing it, tried different pictures, played with pricing, and finally I think I just went back and forth with a guy, and I got a best offer of $15. So, and this is just so I can get rid of them. I got a few pairs of shoes that I would just like out of here. So that's a rate of return of only 9%. So basically, to store this thing for 6 months, I'm getting a $2.21 return. Not great. I am happy to see it go and make some more room for other stuff that will sell, but for me, not good. You know, I'm not big on shoe brands. Maybe that's it. I'm just not picking up the right stuff. That's definitely part of it, but this wasn't a good one. All right, let's get into another hit here. Columbia black jacket, zip up, classic jacket, just a fall jacket. So I actually talked to this lady, and she was just looking to replace one that she already had or was damaged. So she was definitely asking me questions back and forth to make sure it was the right model. So I'm only into it $2, guys. I sold it for $20. That's a rate of return of 176%. That's great. You know, especially I only got $2 just to tune into this thing, and yeah, I like it. So total profit for me was $19.45, and if you're kind of wondering why the numbers sound a little funny there, it's because I think I made a few dollars off of shipping. So on this, I charged $15 flat rate for shipping. and she was fairly close, I think, within the same province, and it wound up going, I think, like 3 days for 13 bucks. So I think I made like an extra $2 off the shipping. Sometimes I make a couple bucks off the shipping. Sometimes I lose my shirt, but hopefully that is not too often. I've had pretty good luck. All right, guys, another miss, unfortunately for me. So this was an Ed Hardy trucker's hat, and when I found this, I was pretty excited. It looked like a really cool hat. I know Ed Hardy stuff was really more popular, I think, in the early 2000s. But still a really cool hat, and I thought somebody would like it. So I overpaid as well. This is something I probably bought over a year ago, and hats, you should be into them like maybe 50 cents to $1. Anything over that, you're asking for trouble. So this one cost me $4.50. It sold for $9.99. And I tried to get, originally I was trying to get like $20 or so out of it, and maybe I could have. I've just had it for so long, and it didn't seem like it was going. So for me, this is a total profit, or total rate of return of 20%. Not terrible, guys, but I really have had this for a long time, and hats just aren't worth that much to resell unless you have something really special. So total profit, $3.69. You know, I couldn't even go back out and buy the same hat with the profit that I made, but I obviously got my money back, and it's a learning lesson. You know, if you're gonna buy hats, guys, try to beat them real cheap, like 50 cents, $1. That's it. All right, guys, another hit. Thank goodness. And this one plays all the hits. It's a record player. So this is an ion record player. So it does work as a regular record player, but the purpose of it is to record your records to MP3. So you take your beautiful, high quality sounding vinyl and turn it into trash. But people like to do this. Portable music is so popular. I love it. I'm a big Spotify fan these days. I do collect vinyl records still, but you know, that's another story. So for this guy, I was in it $10. Sold it for $43. I think I had it listed for closer to $50. This was I think I might have sent out an offer. I think I sent out an offer on this one. Rate of return, 152%. Not bad. Definitely like that. And total profit, $45.70. So again, with this guy, I think I thought the shipping was going to cost me more and charged $40 for shipping. And that's the way it's listed, so it's not as if I'm charging extra after the fact. But it actually only wound up costing, I think, about $20. So I made almost $20 in shipping. You know, so like I said, sometimes I make money in shipping, sometimes I lose money in shipping, but I am trying to be really fair about it, and I do use all the knowledge I've gained from shipping over the last couple years to make a good judgment. And I mostly use Canada Post as well. I don't think I've talked about that before, but there are tons of options, especially this did go inside of Canada, but if we're talking about the States, for instance, there's things like Chit Chat and these couriers that are great and can get you better rates. But a guy like me, I live out in the middle of nowhere. The closest drop off from one of these depots would be about an hour. That's not very realistic for me unless I'm selling a ton of things to the States and I'm making trips, you know, every couple of days, and then I've got to drive an hour. I know they have programs too where you can ship to them, but then, you know, it's still going to cost you to ship to them. So unless you're doing super large volumes, or like, you know, something more than what I'm doing, I'm just scaling, right? So it doesn't make sense for me. So I mostly ship with Canada Post. All right, guys, if you made it this far, thank you so much. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Give it a big old thumbs up. You can follow me on Instagram at ThriftOnFire. Until next time, see you guys.